Something, something, something dark side. Something, something, something complete.
Hello and welcome to things I find interesting that happened today in the past, aka Tifitht Itp. This show is all about the historical events of the past, both recognized by actual historians and ones I personally find interesting enough to talk about. My information comes from the smart device application on this day, the icon of which can be seen as cutoff prevention at the beginning and end of this video.
Anyway, on with the show!
Today is Phrase Day, aka Friday, January 22nd, 2016. In 2010, Conan O'Brien performed his last Tonight Show on NBC as a part of the Tonight Show conflict of 2010. In 2006, Evo Morales was inaugurated as president of Bolivia, becoming the country's first indigenous president. In 2002, Kmart became the largest retailer in U.S. history to file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. In 1992, Dr. Roberta Bondar became the first Canadian woman and the first neurologist in space. In 1991, during the Persian Gulf War, after 3 Iraqi Scuds and 1 Patriot missile hit Ramat Gan in Israel, resulting in the injuring of 96 people, 3 elderly denizens died of heart attacks. In 1990, Robert Tapan Morris was convicted of releasing the 1988 Internet computer worm. In 1987, Philippine security forces opened fire on a crowd of between 10 to 15,000 demonstrators at Malacañang Palace, Manila, resulting in the murder of 13 of them. In 1987, Pennsylvanian politician R. Bud Dwyer committed suicide via gun during a televised press conference. Or maybe he could have not been such a pussy. If you put yourself in that sort of spotlight without the ability to handle the heat, get out. In 1984, the Apple Macintosh, the first consumer computer to popularize the computer mouse and the graphical user interface, was introduced during Super Bowl 18. In 1973, the Supreme Court of the U.S. delivered its decision in Roe v. Wade and Doe v. Bolton, legalizing elective abortion in all 50 states. In 1971, the Singapore Declaration, one of the 2 most important documents to the uncodified Constitution of the Commonwealth of Nations, was issued. In 1970, the Boeing 747, the world's first jumbo jet, entered commercial service for launch customer Pan American Airways with its maiden voyage from John F. Kennedy International Airport to London Heathrow Airport. In 1968, Apollo 5 lifted off, carrying the first lunar module into space. In 1957, the New York City Mad Bomber George P. Matisky was arrested at Waterbury, Connecticut, and was charged with planting over 30 bombs. In 1947, KTLA, the first commercial television station west of the Mississippi River, began operation in Hollywood. In 1946, the Central Intelligence Group, the forerunner of the Central Intelligence Agency, was created. It's just too bad intelligence is the last thing on their agenda. In 1919, Acts Lucky was signed, unifying the Ukrainian People's Republic and the West Ukrainian National Republic. In 1521, Emperor Charles V opened the Diet of Worms. In 1506, the first contingent of 150 Swiss Guards arrived at the Vatican. And in 613, 8-month-old Constantine was crowned co-emperor, aka Caesar, by his father Heraclius at Constantinople. First, Guy Ferrari, 1968. Halo, every day, every year. Deaths, Heath Ledger, 2008. Lyndon B. Johnson, 1973. And that concludes Tifitht Itp for your dose of passive daily. I am Ayo, and you are you. Toodles!